know one thing. I really do need a cup of coffee. If anyone has a cup of coffee nearby, or if you could make one for me right now, could you? I would be very grateful. Hello everybody, welcome to English Addict Live from the United Kingdom. I really like the way I said United Kingdom. Do you like that? Did you enjoy the way I said that? I said it with such a calm voice. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Well, are you happy? I really hope so. Welcome to a rather strange day here in the UK. A lot of people waking up this morning with one thing on their mind. Yesterday, the nation went out to vote. We did. We went out to vote for our new government. And this morning, we all found out the result of the big general election that took place yesterday in the UK. Some people are happy, some people not so happy. I think the weather outside at the moment really does sum up the mood. It is windy, stormy, lots of strange grey clouds hanging overhead. So that really does sum up the mood at the moment here in the UK. I really think so. So here we go. It is English Addict Live from the UK, the slightly more United Kingdom, it would appear. That's all I'm saying. So I'm feeling tired. Can I just say that I'm feeling tired, and also I keep saying so? I will stop saying so. Cross it off my list of words that I keep saying. It is a great day to be alive. For some people, it is a stressful day for various reasons. However, here in the UK, a lot of people waking up this morning happy, some waking up very unhappy. I did not go to bed until 3 o'clock this morning. And that's the reason why I need a cup of coffee. I need something to keep me going. I don't know what's happening. I'm only half awake at the moment, if I was honest with you. And it's my fault. I know it's my fault because I went to bed very late. And now I feel so tired because I stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning watching the results from yesterday's general election coming through. But anyway, don't worry, the weekend is just around the corner because it's Friday. Don't be too surprised if I fall asleep. Don't be too surprised if I doze off in the corner of the studio. Wow. Do you know the feeling when you don't get enough sleep and your brain is only on half power? Because in reality, your brain wants to actually go to sleep. However, your body still has to do things. And that is how I feel at the moment. So here we go, the weekend just around the corner, a very strange day here in the UK. Maybe there is an air of somberness, people feeling somber. However, there might be other people feeling very excited and happy this morning. So it really does depend how they voted yesterday. So that depends on what their mood will be like at this moment. Hello to everyone. I'm sure you don't want to hear me talking about elections and politics, because I know that not only here in the UK but around the world, everyone is going through their own periods of political unrest, and it's a bit like that, really. Everything is really unstable at the moment. Hello to Grace Chin. Something nice. Grace Chin, congratulations to you. You are first on today's live chat. Congratulations, and a big round of applause from Mr. Duncan in England. That's me, by the way. So Khyber is also here as well, watching in Afghanistan. Also Tanya. Hello, Tanya. Also Wafay, Alamgir, Rolfi. Hello, everyone. It is a new day and there are new things to learn. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. I'm sorry for being slightly late today. 2 reasons. 1, I was not moving around the house very quickly because I was half asleep. And 2, just before I started my live stream at 2 o'clock. But unfortunately, it didn't start at 2 o'clock because I was late. Someone was knocking at the door. So I went to the door and there was a guy at the door looking for one of my neighbours. But I didn't recognise the name of the person he was looking for. So I couldn't help him. But he kept talking to me. And all I kept thinking in my head, was, I have to do my live stream. I should be on the internet now talking to a handful of people. So here I am, and that's the reason why I am late here today. Hello, Flower Espoir. Today we are talking about various things. We will be talking about words connected to voting and the decisions that were made last night. One big decision in particular was made by the general public of the UK as we went out to vote. So we will be looking at some words connected to the events of the past 24 hours. Also, Mika is here, Hiroko as well. Hello, Sweetness, Louis, Christina, Pedro Belmont. Oh, hello, Pedro. Nice to see you here today. We don't normally see you on Friday, do we? Or do we? Alamgir, the Conservative Party has won the race. Well, they didn't just win, but they won by a large majority. So they didn't just win, they will now have full control over the country and most of the decisions that will be made concerning the UK over the next 5 years. So this isn't just a few months, this is 5 more years of this. So there you go. Some people are happy, some people not so happy. I suppose it depends on what their political viewpoint is. Theo, hello Mr. Duncan and viewers. My goodness, what an election result. I need a cup of coffee. Theo, I also need a cup of coffee. In fact, a little bit later on, I will be playing a video for you, and during that video, I might actually make myself a cup of coffee. Just so I can stay awake for the rest of today's live stream. Hello also Agustina. Hello Pedro again. Hello Pedro again. Christina, I watched the result of the UK election on TV, and also I watched the speech by Boris Johnson. He would appear to be a very popular politician. In fact, it's one of the biggest results for the Conservative Party for many, many years. In fact, I think it's since the late 1980s when Margaret Thatcher was re-elected. So, yes, a lot of people seem to like Boris Johnson. I don't know how you think or what you think, but according to Christina, it will open a new historical moment for the UK. Well, I think there will be a lot of things happening over the next few months and also few years as well, concerning that one thing that I'm not going to mention, even though I have to. I know I have to mention it, but I'm not going to. So there is a big thing that will decide when we leave the European Union. So now it is not a matter of if. That is gone completely. So it is no longer if we leave the European Union. Now it is just when we leave and also how we leave. So yes, a lot of big things happening over the next few years, because this whole process will not be over in just a few months. So even if we decide to leave the European Union, it is still going to take at least 10 years to sort out the whole situation. How do we disconnect ourselves from Europe? So it isn't just about saying, goodbye, Europe, goodbye. It's a little bit more complicated than that. And a lot of experts, a lot of commentators predict that it will actually take around 10 years to sort out the exit from Europe. So some very strange times ahead. Hello once again to Anna. Hello Alamgir again. Sally. Hello Sally. I need your cheerful smiling face today to cheer everyone up here in the UK, because quite a few people are feeling very gloomy at the moment. Palmyra is here also. Edvaldo. Hello, Edvaldo. Nice to see you here as well. Also, Tanchang, you can have a sleep during your live stream. Don't worry. But it is a horrible feeling, isn't it, when you don't get enough sleep? And it's not very often that I do this, but I couldn't resist staying up until very late at night watching the results come in. Unfortunately, I felt so tired, I couldn't stay up any longer, so I went to bed at around about 3 o'clock this morning. Oh, another thing to mention is a lot of people are feeling a little nervous today, not only because of the general election, but also there is another reason as well, because today is Friday the 13th. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. Today is no ordinary day, because today is Friday the 13th. They say that on Friday the 13th, bad things will happen. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong, because today is Friday the 13th. Superstitious people believe that Friday the 13th is an evil day, because if you go out on Friday the 13th, terrible things will happen. Do not walk under a ladder. Do not allow a black cat to cross your path. If you spill salt, remember to throw it over your shoulder. Friday the 13th is here. Be careful. Beware. Friday the 13th does not care. Oh dear. Is it my imagination, or do I look awful in that video? I look terrible, don't I? So it is Friday the 13th. Some people are superstitious. Some people believe that bad things will happen when Friday and the 13th fall at the same time. It might be bad news for some people today because I suppose a lot of people woke up this morning here in the UK feeling not so happy. I also noticed in the news this week that, well, we think we're having a bad time here. Apparently in Israel, they are about to have another general election. I think they've had 3 already. And now they have to have another one within a very short space of time. So because they can't sort out any coalition, any government that will work with one party working with another, they have to have yet another general election in Israel as well. So that's big news. A lot of people talking about that. But the big story here, unfortunately, is the general election that took place yesterday. You might describe this moment as historic. Now, that's an interesting word. There is a difference between these words, in fact. You can see 2 words on your screen right now. The words are historic and historical. And there is a difference between these words. For example, the word historic is something that we use to mean significant. So if an event occurs and if it is something that is worthy of being recorded in history, it is a significant moment, something that's never happened before, maybe something unusual, maybe something outstanding, maybe a big change has taken place or is about to take place. Significant. So when we say historic is something that is significant. Historic. It is a significant moment of time. Something that will be recorded and will be referred to as time goes by. Something that is notable. Notable. A notable event. Something that is momentous. Momentous. A momentous moment. Something that will stay in the memory. Something that is unusual or outstanding is momentous. So you might describe what happened last night here in the UK with the general election as momentous. Something that is meaningful. So again, something that will have a lingering effect. Something that might change the way people live. Something that might change things for the better. So we might say that something is historic. It has meaning. It has meaning. There is a strong meaning. Of course, meaningful can be positive and negative. So it doesn't necessarily mean something is happening that is good. Something that is historic is remarkable. It's a remarkable moment. You will often hear people describe a moment of time that has been worthy or is worthy of being recorded in the history books. Something remarkable has occurred. Something remarkable has happened. It is worthy of remark. So when you make a remark, it means you say something about a certain event or subject. It is remarkable. Something that you need to make a remark on. An important moment of time, an event that is seen as important, can be described as historic. A historic moment, a historic moment in politics, something that has happened that has caused things to change, something that has changed. something that is noteworthy. Something that is noteworthy. If something is noteworthy, it means it is something that is so unusual and so remarkable that you have to write it down. You have to make a record of that thing happening. It is noteworthy. It is something that is so important, a big change, a big event, something that has happened. It is noteworthy. Noteworthy. And I suppose we can say that something can be of note. So when we say note, it is generally a thing that is recorded, normally in writing. So it is of note. It is worthy of writing down. It is worthy of being noted. So this is a very interesting way of describing something that is historic. It is something that catches your eye. It is something that might never happen again. It is worthy of note. And then, of course, we have the other word, historical. So when we talk about historical things, we are generally talking about the past. We are generally discussing things that have happened in the past. Something that has happened before this day. Something that has happened before the present moment. So anything in the past, anything from 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 10 years ago, is historical. Something referring to the past. Something that is mentioning the past. Maybe there is a book written all about things that have happened in the past. We might describe that book as historical, a historical book. So something historical refers to the past, refers to something that has happened in the past. Another word we can use, precedent or precedent, but most people pronounce this word as precedent. So a precedent is a thing that has happened that is unusual or remarkable, quite often in law. So when a new law is brought into practice, we will often describe that as a precedent. It is something that has changed the way the law functions or works. So quite often you will hear a story about a trial, someone is using a certain type of defence to get them off a charge, and if they succeed, then that thing becomes a precedent. A precedent. Something that has happened in the past, something that changes what happens in the future. It is something remarkable, something historical. It is a precedent. Also, we talk about the past time as well. The past time. So from the past, anything that we talk about, again, it doesn't matter if it's 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 1,000 years ago, it is historical. Historical. Anything before now. Anything before this moment of time occurs, we can say it is historical. Historical documents, historical stories, things that talk about any period of time before now. So I hope that clears the confusion between these two words. I hope so. Back to the live chat. Who is on here today? Hello, Anna. Unfortunately, due to the bad weather, my connection isn't good today. I'm sorry to hear that, Anna. Jamelia is here. Jamelia is here. It is so wonderful to finally have time to be with you all. Yes, to Mr. Duncan. Thank you, Jamelia. I haven't seen you for a long time. This is something that I noticed last week. There were a lot of people last week coming on, and they were saying, oh, we haven't been on your live stream for a very long time. So if you haven't been here for a long time, there are a few changes. Things do look a little bit different, but you can catch me every Sunday, Wednesday and Friday from 2 p.m. UK time. So I'm with you every Sunday, Wednesday and Friday from 2 p.m. UK time, and that is when you can join me here on YouTube. Every week. Hello also Rakesh. Hello to Rakesh. Rakesh Kumar. Cecilia, what I do for my friend because he is sad. Oh, what have you done for your friend, Rakesh? I am intrigued. I want to know more because I'm nosy. Zeba is here. Today it is freezing in London. It's also cold here as well. So there is the view now outside looking into the distance. So that is a live view out of my window right now. Looking into the distance, you can see it's bright and sunny. However, it is also very windy as well. It is bright, but it's very cold. I don't know why. Yesterday, I was in the house yesterday and I could not get warm. I don't know why. I really couldn't get warm yesterday. The house is freezing. So yesterday I had to put the central heating on to heat the whole house. But also last night I had to light the fire as well, the log fire, to try and keep the house warm. I suppose it's because I was on my own, because Mr. Steve is away at the moment, so I'm all by myself. What a pity. So yes, you are right, it's freezing at the moment in the UK. It really does feel as if there is a strange cold hand grabbing hold of the UK. Hi, Mr. Duncan, how are you? What is the music called that you have at the start of your live stream? Hello, Douglas. That piece of music is called Elevator. That's the name of the piece of music. And I do like that piece of music as well. It always gets me in a good mood. It always makes me feel quite happy when I hear that piece of music. I don't know why, but I do. Sally, you didn't mention the title of your live stream today. The title? Well, I'm talking about voting. I'm talking about the results from the election, and there are lots of words that we can use as well. Thanks for the difference between historic and historical. It is one that many people get confused by, so I thought I would explain it today. Thanks also to Lena for asking as well on my Facebook page. Talking of which, if you want to follow me on Facebook, you can. If you want to write to me through email, you can. If you want to make a donation to help my work continue, guess what? You can. So now you know. That's it. That is the address for Facebook, my email, and also if you want to make a donation, you are more than welcome to do so. And also don't forget to give me your big thumb. Can I have a like? Please give me a like, because I'm so desperate. I need your likes. And also you can subscribe as well if you want. You are more than welcome to subscribe to my YouTube channel. A lot of people again asking about the new website. There is a new website I'm creating at the moment as I prepare to leave YouTube. However, I won't be leaving YouTube precisely, but I will be going to another home page. So my new home will be on a website, another website. However, I will still continue to make videos here on YouTube. I know it's very confusing. Even I get confused by it sometimes. So, I suppose we can't talk about things that are happening at the moment without mentioning that special time of the year. Yes, Christmas is just around the corner, and at this time of year, many people prepare for the festive season, the Christmas season, and quite often, in their house, they will put up a Christmas tree. This is Peter Chaffinch, and this is Lady Wollington, both of them sitting comfortably in the corner of my living room. But I'm afraid you're going to have to move out, because something is going to be placed there. I'm ever so sorry. Today I am going to put my Christmas tree up. My Christmas tree does not come complete. The Christmas tree comes in 3 sections. This is the bottom section. So before I can decorate it, I must construct the tree. I have to put the tree together first. The tree has to be assembled. This is the bottom part of the tree. It is the base of the tree. So that's the middle section in place. All that remains now is the top section. So there it is, my lovely Christmas tree. It's a very tall tree, and it took me a long time to set up. Its total height is 7 feet. That's even taller than me. Yeah. Super duper Christmas tree. You're a super duper Christmas tree. Oh yes you are. So green and so lush. So nice to see. You are the world's best Christmas tree. This particular Christmas tree is very realistic. It is very true to life. From far away, it looks like a real tree. The putting up of a tree at Christmas stems from the old pagan ritual of tree worshipping. Some people believed that trees were alive. Others considered the tree as sacred and divine. In some cultures, a tree is planted after the birth of a child, so as to help it grow strong and healthy. The practice of bringing a tree into the house at Christmas became popular over 2 centuries ago. It first began in Germany and slowly moved to other places. Here in Britain, we have been decorating our homes with a tree at Christmas for around 200 years. Originally, these trees were decorated with candles, and later other things were hung on it, so as to add more colour. These days we place many different things on our Christmas trees. We can take a look at some of these things now, if you like. When decorating a Christmas tree, you normally begin with the lights, as they are the most awkward things to arrange. I have gone for multicoloured lights. Putting Christmas tree lights up can be a little laborious. You need to slowly move around the tree, and while doing so, you position the lights on the tree. Some people start from the bottom, while others prefer to do it from the top. I normally begin at the bottom, so I know exactly where the wire for the lights will trail from to the wall socket. So I start at the bottom of the tree and slowly work my way up. This action is called hanging or stringing. You are hanging the lights on the tree. You are stringing the lights up. These particular lights are low energy ones. In fact, almost all of the lights I'm using inside and outside use very little electricity. This shiny material is called tinsel. It is very eye-catching. It really gets your attention. Tinsel adds that all-important sparkle to the tree. It complements the lights by shimmering and sparkling. Tinsel is a very important part of the tree decor. You can also put tinsel in other places too. I always like to put some around my TV. Quite often the tinsel around the edge is more interesting than what is happening on the screen. If someone asks me what I watched on TV last night, I reply, "My lovely tinsel." So that's the tinsel on the tree. I only have one thing to say next. Balls. Yes, balls. You cannot decorate your tree without some nice shiny balls. Or, as they are more traditionally known, baubles. A bauble is a glass decoration normally associated with Christmas trees. These days most baubles are made of plastic, so they do not break as easily as the old-fashioned glass ones. I have quite a selection of Christmas baubles here. The focal point of any Christmas tree is the top. Normally on the top of a Christmas tree you will put a fairy or a star. I have decided to go for a nice golden star. The star can of course be used as a religious symbol. It is a powerful emblem. I see the star as a symbol of hope and longevity. Stars always look so bright and cheerful. A clear starry night really is a wonderful sight. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Some people might say that underneath the Christmas tree is the most important place, because that is where the presents and gifts can be found after Santa has been on Christmas Eve. Who is Santa? He is, of course, Father Christmas, or Santa Claus, to give him his full name. There are other things that you can put on your Christmas tree to brighten it up. These are imitation holly leaves with real pine cones dusted with paint to look like snow. They add a lovely winter look to the tree. This little robin has found a nice comfortable spot to perch on. So that is my tree all decorated and the lights are ready to be switched on. Isn't that nice? So there it is, the finished article, the Christmas tree. And that is a video I made, I think I made that in 2013. A very long time ago. As I said, I have made a cup of coffee. So I'm now having a delicious cup of coffee. And look, it's nice and foamy on the top. So I need this coffee to keep me going for the next 15 minutes. I have another 15 minutes to go with you all on this Friday afternoon. Hello to the live chat. Hello to Lena. Oh, hello again, Lena. I ordered 2 shirts in one shop in London as a New Year's present. My friend living in London sent them to me on the 23rd of November. I am still waiting for my parcel from London, says Lena. At this time of year here in the UK, the postal system normally slows down. To be honest with you, quite often it's not good normally. Even at their normal pace, it is quite slow. So all I can say to you is you might have to wait a little bit longer. It might take up to 2 weeks to actually get to you, Lena. So 2 weeks or even 3 weeks. And this is one of the things that we have to always bear in mind here in the UK during the run-up to Christmas. So as Christmas approaches, lots of people want to send gifts and presents. Some people will send things locally from one place to another. Quite often people will send gifts and presents abroad as well. And during this time of year, it can take a lot longer. Even if you order something on the internet and you live in the same country, you might find that it gets there or gets to you much slower than normal. So that's the reason why. Apparently, Belarusia has never baked a turkey. Well, you don't bake a turkey, you normally cook a turkey. You cook or roast a turkey. So, yes, I've never baked a turkey in my life, and I've never even tasted turkey. That's incredible. Really, is that true? So what do you normally eat? What kind of meat do you normally have, Belarusia? Of course, you might be a vegetarian for all I know. So, yes. I don't really like red balls on a Christmas tree. I prefer gold or silver balls. Well, my Christmas tree has lots of different colours of balls. Baubles. So some of them are orange, some of them are red, some of them are silver, and some of them are very shiny, very sparkly. So yes, I always like lots of different colours on my Christmas tree. I would imagine a lot of people are preparing to put their Christmas trees up at the moment, I would imagine. Louis, now that's what I call a Christmas tree. Thank you very much. Now that particular video was recorded before we did some of the changes in the house. So that video was actually made in 2013. 6 years ago. Incredible. Amazing, Mr. Duncan. I am up to decorate today my Christmas tree and also my house as well, says Alexandra. Good. I'm glad that you've given yourself plenty of time. Some people don't do it straight away. They wait until maybe 2 or 3 days before Christmas, and then suddenly they will start to panic and they will throw their Christmas tree up in a hurry. They will do it too quickly. What type of coffee do you like? Asks Sean. Well, at the moment I will drink anything. Any coffee. So here is some coffee that I've made. I think this is Brazilian. It might be Brazilian coffee. Or actually I have a feeling. Wait there a second. Let me just have a taste. I think that might be Colombian. That's Colombian coffee. So the coffee I'm drinking at the moment, I think that's Colombian. It has quite a kick to it, quite a strong flavour. I'm not saying that I dislike Brazilian coffee, because I drink Brazilian coffee as well. In fact, I'm so tired today, I will drink anything. Palmyra, Mr. Duncan, I would like to hear you pronounce the word fir. Fir. Do you mean the type of tree? So a type of evergreen tree is called a fir tree. Fir. So F-I-R, fir. So it isn't fear, it's fur. It sounds like the soft coating on an animal. So an animal has fur, but also a tree that is an evergreen can be described as a fir tree. So I hope that helps you there. Noemi is here. I love to cook turkey, but the common problem is it's too big for a few people. I think so. Well, that's the reason why we have chicken. So Mr. Steve always goes out to buy a lovely fresh chicken. Of course, it has to be organic. I don't know why, but Mr. Steve feels happier if his turkey corpse, or should I say chicken corpse, is organic. Belarusia, in Argentina, we eat meat and lots of meat, and also fish and chicken. And from time to time, we also eat pork and pizza. Oh, I see. So you've just never tried turkey. Can I say turkey is very nice, but it can be very difficult to cook. Because turkey, well, you've seen the turkey. They're big birds. They're pretty large, actually. So they can be a little difficult to cook. They are hard to cook well. Pedro, I'm going to leave until I have another opportunity. Oh, okay then. See you later, Pedro. Don't worry, you can watch this video again later on the replay. Rolfie says, sucking pig is a traditional food at Christmas as well. Some people have something called a hog roast. Have you ever seen a hog roast? What they normally do, I've never been to one myself, but a hog roast is where you take the whole pig and you put a large skewer through the middle of it, and then you cook the pig over an open fire. So the pig, the animal, will slowly turn around and cook over a long period of time. And they call that a hog roast. I've never been to one myself. I'm not sure if I want to see a large animal revolving or spinning above a burning flame, to be honest. I'm not sure if I want to see that. I don't understand why people decorate their houses after Halloween. I think they are killing the Christmas spirit. Can I just say something here? Can I tell you something? In the past, here in the UK, we never used to bother with Halloween very much. I remember growing up as a kid, Halloween wasn't really a big event. It wasn't commercialised like it is now. But here in the UK now, we tend to do lots of things during Halloween, but not in the past. So I remember growing up as a kid in the 1970s. We didn't really observe Halloween or get very excited about it, if I was honest. Hello, Sally, Mr. Duncan. Can you please explain the expression for me? If something will roll off the tongue. Well, if something rolls off the tongue, it means you say it easily. So it will roll off the tongue. It means you say it with ease. It is something that is easy to say. It just rolls off the tongue. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you, Palmyra. Thank you to Anna as well. So yesterday we had an election. We had to go out and we had to cast our vote. So that's what we did yesterday. So when you vote, you go out, you make a choice. Many countries nowadays have a voting system. Some of them are fair, some of them not so fair. That's all I'm saying. You may have noticed in the news there are lots of disagreements taking place around the world in certain countries about the voting system and also how fair the actual elections are. So you vote for a person to represent your area, the place you live. You also ballot. So ballot is also vote. So when you ballot, it means you make a choice. So a group of people are allowed to ballot. They are allowed to make a vote. You might have 3 or 4 people that you can choose from to represent you. You vote. You ballot. Ballot. Interesting word. You might not have heard of that word before. A vote can also be described as a poll as well. We often use the word poll when we talk about survey as well. So when you are making a survey, when you are gathering the opinions of people, you will often have a poll. So this word, once again, can be used in more than one way. So when you poll, you are asking people to make a choice. Or maybe you are interested to find out what people think about a certain thing or a certain subject. I'm starting to liven up now. I'm feeling more lively because I'm having coffee. Ooh. Feel that caffeine rush. It's going straight to my brain. Hello, Sweetness. I am here also, but my hands are full right now. Sorry that I can't be company for you. That's okay. Don't worry. Alan Gia says bye to Pedro. Isn't that nice? Another word that we often use, especially when the results of an election are coming through, we talk about swing. And this is something you'll often hear mentioned. Here in the UK, we are crazy about swing. We get very excited when people on the television talk about how the voting public have changed the party that they support. So when we talk about swing, we mean how far over the voting has changed for each party and which one is being favoured more. So you might say that last night there was a big swing for the Conservatives. So the Conservatives enjoyed a big swing. They had a larger percentage of the vote. Swing. For many years on television, especially on the BBC, they have something called a swingometer. Look it up after I've finished. Look it up on YouTube. I'm sure there are lots of video clips showing the famous BBC swingometer. And every year, or every time we have an election, they always get the swingometer out to show you how people have voted. Hello, Sweetness again. Oh, Sweetness is doing some cooking. You should never say that to me, because now I'm going to be very nosy. I want to know what you are cooking, why you are cooking, and how you are going to get that food to me. Hi, Mr. Duncan. This is Year 7 Assist. Hello to you. So you have been watching me for 7 years? Thank you, Ivan. That's very nice. I once met an American who said that we eat too much meat here in Argentina. But when I asked him, what do you enjoy the most since you've been here? He told me, meat, fried meat. So someone from America was telling Belarusia how people in Argentina eat too much meat. Yet his favourite food was a certain type of meat. Yes, I like that. I think Americans, especially people in the USA, are crazy about meat. There are some very interesting programs that I watch sometimes on television where they go to these restaurants, and in these restaurants they serve these huge portions of food. And quite often it involves lots of meat. And quite often the meat is very spicy or very greasy. So yes. Petchu, who won in the UK election? Was it Boris Johnson or Jeremy Corbyn? It was Boris. Boris had a huge win last night. In fact, it might be described as historic. When we talk about voting, we will often talk about the turnout. So when we say turnout, this means the amount of people or the number of people who went out to vote. The number of people who actually went along and they put their cross on the voting paper. So the number of people who turned out, the number of people who went along to vote is the turnout. I think yesterday's vote, I think it was around 60, was it 64 or 67? I think it was around 67%. So that's slightly below average. So only 67% of the voters in the UK actually voted yesterday, which isn't very high really when you think about it. We seem to have a lot of trouble here getting young people interested in politics and getting them to vote. So that is one of the things that people talk about every time an election comes along. There is a Christmas toy factory in Russia. It is a place where the Christmas decorations like baubles are made. This factory is visited by many children and adults every year. I like that idea. It must be wonderful. It must be like going to Santa's home, the place where Santa Claus lives. Hello, Ivan. Mr. Duncan, good job. Yes, 7 years of assisting. Thank you very much. Very nice. Thanks a lot, Mr. Duncan, for your help today. I hope these words have been useful. Here's another one. If a group of people agree or decide to go in a certain direction with their opinion, you might say that there is a consensus. So if a group of people agree, they come to a decision or an agreement, we can say that there is a consensus. Quite often we will say consensus of opinion. So a group of people, it can be a few people, 100 people, or even 1 million people. If they all agree on one thing, maybe they agree on who they want to run the country. There is a consensus, an agreement. I was asked the other day, is it compulsory to vote in the UK? Well, as I just mentioned, only 68% of people who can vote actually did. So, yes, voting is not obligatory or compulsory in the UK. So you don't have to go out and vote. I know in some countries you do. Some countries, they will come round and tell you, have you voted yet? They will say, have you voted? Come on, go to the voting station. So here in the UK, you don't have to vote, and the legal age is 18. So over the age of 18, you are able to vote. You can choose who you want to represent you in the Houses of Parliament. Voting is not compulsory or obligatory. That's a great word. Not easy to say, by the way. So I hope you've enjoyed that. We are going in a few moments. A little strange today because I didn't get much sleep last night. So I went to bed at 3 and I got up at around about 8. So I haven't had much sleep, to be honest with you. And that's the reason why I feel a little tired at the moment. And also, I'm drinking this coffee to keep me awake for the rest of the day. Belarusia is going, taking care of your parents. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that great? Thank you, Belarusia, and a big hello to your parents as well. Don't forget to say hello for us all. We are thinking about you and your family. I know things have been happening. Alexandra, I like your colourful mug. Oh, I've had this cup for many years. Many years. This is my favourite cup. I think we all have a favourite thing. A favourite thing that we like to use for drinking. So, yes, this is my favourite cup. I always protect this cup. I would hate it if something bad were to happen to my favourite cup. So I love this cup, and I especially love the coffee that is contained within the cup. To be honest, I need this coffee today, I really do. I haven't had much sleep. I really haven't. Thank you, Eric. Wonderful words for a democratic country. It may be democratic in this country, however, there are a lot of people who are very upset. Now, what's been interesting about this election is the way in which people have been reacting and talking on social media. And I think that the result from this general election in the UK has proved one thing, and that is that people don't really take much notice of what people write or what commentators talk about on social media. So I think actually people have made up their own mind. As I said a couple of weeks ago, people don't decide until they have the pencil in their hand, until they are holding the pencil, until they are about to make their cross on the paper. So many people make their decision at the last moment, and quite often they will make the decision based on not this, but this. So they will make their decision based on what they feel here in their heart. So quite often that means that they might vote in a selfish way. And that's what I've always believed with voting. So when a person goes to vote, quite often their decision will often be a selfish one because they want to survive. So they will vote for the person that they see will help them to survive in the future. That's what I think. It's just an opinion of a guy on the internet. I think roast meat in Argentina is the most tasty all over the world. Oh, don't say that. Oh, I want to go to Argentina now. It's not fair. Lena, we have salads for New Year's Eve. Salads. I can't make a salad. I'm useless at cooking. Bellarim, Sally, thank you very much. Gemini says, I was heavily disappointed by the result. My love for Britain has shrunk a little today, and I joined the live chat for the first time to say this. Thank you, Gemini. You are more than welcome to express your opinion, and can I just say you are not the only one. Many people this morning are almost shocked. They can't quite believe it. But I think one of the big problems this time is that people were not sure how to vote. They didn't know which way to go. So they only made their decision at the very last moment. And quite often you will think of yourself. I think voting quite often can be a selfish action, because quite often you will think not of other people, you will quite often think of yourself. I personally like Boris Johnson, says Alamgir. I was watching the events last night, and one thing I saw was every Prime Minister taking dogs with them. Well, yes, they do that because that's how they become popular, because a lot of people like dogs. So I think sometimes they use dogs so people will like them. Maybe I should get a dog. Maybe I should have a dog here on my live stream, sitting next to me, licking its bottom. Hello, SM. Green food is healthy. Dairy for all, but the dairy will give you a short life. Humans will search for takeaway food, which causes many diseases and also health problems. I think you're right. So I'm coming towards the end of today's live stream. I hope you've enjoyed this, a little different, not least of all because I'm half asleep. And the weather outside is cold, windy, very stormy. Very stormy outside today. I'm surprised we haven't had any rain. I really am. So it's almost time for me to go. Thanks so much, Mr. Duncan. A very interesting lesson, but please don't think too much. Don't drink too much coffee. Well, normally I only have one coffee every day. So today I didn't have a cup of coffee. I didn't have one. So this is my one and only cup of coffee today. Thank you, Berlin. Here in Peru, you have to vote. If you don't vote, you have to pay a fine of $25. That's very interesting. So in Peru, you do have to vote. You have no choice. Personally, I think it's a good idea. I think many people become so bored with politics and they become so bored listening to people talking and talking that they just switch off. They can't be bothered listening to it. And so they become disinterested in everything to do with politics. And quite often they will not go out to vote. Have you voted, Mr. Duncan? Well, I voted yesterday, yes. The voting took place yesterday. And during the night, they gave all of the results. And there were quite a few of them, over 600. Vlad, what is the best Christmas song ever? There are quite a few. I don't know if I have my favourite Christmas song. Helena says, Mr. Duncan, we love you without a dog. Thank you very much. I suppose Mr. Steve might be my pet. I think so. Thank you, Louis. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Mika. Thank you, Lewis. I am going now. It is time for me to have the rest of my coffee. And you also can have a lovely hot beverage if you want, or a cold one if you feel like it. This is Mr. Duncan saying thanks for watching. I am back. When am I back? I am back on Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time, and I hope you have a good weekend. I hope everything goes your way. I will be talking to lots of people this weekend, I'm sure, as I walk around. Some people will be happy, some people not so happy. Bye to Lewis, bye also Mika, Sammy. Thank you very much for joining me today. And of course, until the next time, we join hands across the world here on the internet. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you on Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. And of course, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ta-ta for now.